New at 6, the mother of a student with special needs is upset with her daughter's school for leaving her name and others in her class off the graduation program.
Parents share their concerns with News 3 after 2 students are sent to the hospital during a senior prank involving laced brownies. Now the Clinton Police Department is investigating.
A semi-driver from Janesville is in an Illinois jail tonight, accused of shooting objects at vehicles he drove by.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A local school district is updating its graduation policy after a controversial ceremony this weekend.
Well, Stoughton High School is accused of excluding several students with special needs from part of that ceremony. Our Keely Arthur spoke to one of the affected families. Keely?
That's right. This weekend, many high school seniors celebrated their achievements at graduation, but one Stoughton family says their daughter was robbed of that moment after her name and several others were left out of the program.
She's incredibly social, and she loves to be part of a group.
And incredibly hardworking, too. See, Sheridan Putney is nonverbal and deals with several health issues, so finishing high school took a bit more effort for her.
She came home with a senior checklist that she had folded carefully and tucked it in her purse and put it out on the counter of all the things that she was required to do to make sure she graduated and she could walk with her class.
One by one, Sheridan accomplished those tasks and at the age of 19 completed Stoughton High School.
It was awesome.
But her accomplishments and those of the other students with disabilities graduating as part of the 18 to 21-year-old program weren't listed alongside the traditional graduates.
And then I thought, well, maybe it was just a misprint or something, an oversight.
It wasn't. In an email to us, a spokesperson with the Stoughton Area School District explained that the names weren't printed out of concern that it would disqualify them from the 18 to 21-year-old program, writing students can stay in the program until 21 as long as they don't technically receive their diploma. But after speaking with the Department of Public Instruction following the incident, the district learned listing the names does not impact eligibility and will be changing their practice going forward.
I'm thrilled.
She just wishes it's something Sheridan could have experienced on graduation day, too.
For these kids to attain this, it's so much more challenging than most people would realize.
Now, the district also tells me that they are going to reprint those programs with Sheridan's name and the other students as well.
Keely Arthur in our News Center tonight. Keely, thank you. And we turn to weather now. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on a sunny start to the work week. Gary?
What a beautiful start it was to the work week. Temperatures for the most part are in the upper 70s to the lower 80s. Let's start out by taking a look, first of all, at the visible cloud track. Right now, well, for some reason, our computer is locked up, but I can tell you that temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s through most of southern Wisconsin, lower 80s. There we go, computer's up there. You can see some clouds coming in from the north and west, and just a few showers just starting to pop up across northeastern Wisconsin. Could see an isolated shower or thunderstorm. You can see on the severe weather outlook there the threat for some severe weather to our north and west tomorrow, and maybe by Wednesday into parts of western Wisconsin. Otherwise, look for temperatures to drop into the upper 50s by early tomorrow morning and be in the lower 70s for tomorrow. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. A volunteer tutor at Wright Middle School faces a child sexual assault charge. District officials say students notified staff members back in March, saying they were uncomfortable with the behavior of the tutor, 19-year-old Ellie Malik Medina Lopez. Police investigated and filed charges on Friday. According to court documents, most of the reported inappropriate actions happened on Snapchat. Medina Lopez is accused of sending nude photos to 4 preteen girls and calling them, quote, cutie and sexy. District officials say he only volunteered at Wright Middle School this school year. Medina Lopez will be in court June 21st for an initial hearing.
Parents are upset after a senior prank landed 2 students in the hospital, and 3 recently graduated seniors are now facing some real-world consequences. News 3's Madeline O'Neill is back from Rock County with the details. Maddie?
Yeah, the seniors who brought laced brownies to school on the last day of the year, Wednesday, may now be charged with felonies. But many parents aren't happy with how the school handled the situation. One Facebook post from an angry parent has been shared more than 200 times.
It's terrifying because you never know.
Jessica Long was shocked when she learned about the senior prank at her daughter's high school. A batch of brownies made with Zyrexin, a dietary supplement marketed as a sexual enhancer, that sent 2 students to the hospital feeling sick and jittery.
And if there would have been an underlying heart condition, it could have it could have led to someone dying, unfortunately, and I don't think those kids thought of that when they did it at all.
It's just a very stupid, unfortunate prank that just really went horribly bad.
Clinton Police Chief Dave Hooker says the 3 students behind the prank don't have a criminal record.
I don't believe any of these kids intentionally went out Wednesday to harm their classmates.
But that doesn't mean there aren't potential consequences.
They're convicted of a felony. They can't vote. They can't have hunting licenses. It's probably going to cause them not to be able to get some jobs. It could affect colleges they're even going to nowadays.
That decision will now be up to the Rock County District Attorney, but it's unclear what type of punishment the students faced at school or related to their graduation yesterday. The Clinton Community School District hasn't returned our calls, but in a letter sent to parents and posted on Facebook Saturday, the district says it does not condone the, quote, reckless behavior that endangered the health and safety of other students, and says it believes in a restorative justice approach.
It doesn't seem like they took this one very seriously at all.
Long and other parents on Facebook wish the district had done more.
It's not going to teach future senior classmen not to do those things, because they're going to see these students got away with it, so can we.
Now, these are the pills the students bought and put in the brownies. They're an over-the-counter supplement anyone can buy at places like Walmart as long as you're 18. Now, the Rock County District Attorney is deciding whether to pursue criminal charges against the 3 students, 2 who are 18, 1 who is still 17.
Madeline O'Neill reporting tonight. Madeline, thank you.
A Sun Prairie teenager is in custody tonight, accused of bringing a gun to school. The teen allegedly ran away after a school resource officer tried to make contact with him. He went off school grounds but was arrested by Sun Prairie police. Those officers also found the weapon. As of now, there is no indication the student made any threats to students or staff. A truck driver from Janesville faces charges in Illinois tonight. 53-year-old Kevin Casey is accused of using a slingshot to fire metal objects at passing vehicles while driving his truck through central Illinois. He was in court on those charges today, arrested on Friday. Bond set at $2 million over the weekend. Illinois State Police say they are investigating 45 cases that Casey may be involved in. However, he is only currently charged in 4. 2 people were injured by shattered glass in these incidents, including a toddler. You can learn more about this case and watch a press conference on it by visiting our website, channel3000.com.
The University of Wisconsin system may start sharing information about employees accused of sexual harassment with new employers. The proposal comes amid news that UW-Stevens Point did not disclose a sexual harassment complaint to UW-Eau Claire before a former administrator was hired there. Governor Scott Walker recently requested changes to the system's hiring process. The UW System's Board of Regents will consider the proposal this week.
The final hearing just finished at the Capitol for a commission with a big task ahead of them, updating the state school funding system. The bipartisan group of lawmakers, superintendents, lobbyists, and educators is evaluating the way public school districts receive taxpayer dollars. Some of the main issues are declining enrollment, a lack of funding for mental health and special education programs, and the lack of support for smaller schools in rural districts. The current school funding formula is based on revenue limits set in the early 1990s that put a cap on the amount of money a school district can get from the state and local levies.
And the message is absolutely clear. We're falling short. We're falling short on responsibilities to our children, and we're at a point of doing harm. We need to fix this.
Members of the Public Education Network say every student, no matter what zip code they live in or language they speak, deserves equal access to education. Another one of the problems to be addressed is the teacher crisis. The commission will meet once more to finalize their proposals to recommend to the state legislature.
Candidates for governor and the director of the Marquette Law School poll are criticizing a decision by the state's Broadcasters Association involving a debate next month. 10 candidates have filed to run as Democrats for governor. So far, the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association has been the only organization to announce a televised hour-long debate for the primary. And today, the WBA announced their criteria, saying only the top 4 candidates in the most recent Marquette Law School poll would be admitted. In a statement, the president and CEO of the WBA said, quote, "In order to have a lively exchange of ideas between candidates in the time allowed, we can only accommodate 4 candidates," saying that will give the candidates only 10 minutes apiece with time for questions. The state Democratic Party responded tonight, saying they hope the WBA will reconsider its decision to drastically narrow the field. Quote, "It is possible the criteria could actually exclude the August 14th primary winner." A former employee of Johnsonville Brats faces some legal trouble for tampering with sausages on the production line.
A new video shows Milwaukee police standing on the ankle of Milwaukee Bucks player Sterling Brown after his arrest. Those stories next on News 3 at 6.
New body camera video obtained by a Milwaukee TV station shows officers expressing concern over the perception of Sterling Brown's arrest. Initial video released last month showed Brown being thrown to the ground and shocked with a taser after he parked his car in 2 handicap spots outside of Walgreens. In a second new body camera video, an officer is seen stepping on Brown's ankle after he's on the ground. An officer then begins to question if Brown is a Milwaukee Bucks player. New photos also obtained by WISN shows the injuries to Brown's face and body after the arrest.
If you make a complaint, it's going to be a just player's game.
Oh, yeah.
And then any little thing that goes wrong is going to be, oh, fucking police department is all racist, blah, blah, blah.
Brown was briefly jailed but never charged with the crime. Hours after the incident, he played in an NBA game. 2 sergeants and an officer were put on temporary leave for the incident, and the Milwaukee police chief apologized.
A former employee of Johnsonville Sausage is facing federal charges accused of putting foreign objects in sausages. The alleged tampering happened while he worked at the Sheboygan Falls facility. The former employee is accused of putting a wire connector in a sausage on the processing line, and another time he allegedly put a cigarette paper in another sausage. A federal charging document says Johnsonville leaders temporarily closed the production line and discarded all products they believe could have been affected. Using technology to connect people and the great outdoors.
The new app tracking ticks and its ties to UW-Madison, next at 6.
There is a chance for a shower or thunderstorm tonight, but tomorrow and Wednesday will be nice. Warmer weather by the end of the week could lead to additional chances for thunderstorms. I'll have our first alert forecast in a few minutes.
Tick season is about to reach its peak over the next few weeks.
To learn more about how, created a unique tool to learn more about these pesky disease carriers. Researchers from the UW Department of Entomology have developed the Tick app. It's an application that identifies and reports ticks, giving users helpful information as tick populations grow.
Right now, in June, is when we tend to see the highest population of the immature stages, these nymphal ticks that are so tiny and so difficult to find once they get on your person, and yet they can do most of this disease transmission.
Researchers hope to learn how to limit people's exposure to ticks and Lyme disease by asking Tick app users about tick encounters over a 2-week period. More than 100 people have already downloaded the app.
It is a story getting a lot of love on social media. Some ducklings are safe tonight thanks to some firefighters in Beloit. They were able to rescue the ducks from a storm sewer. This was on Friday. The ducks were reunited with their mother and are expected to be just fine as long as they avoid sewer grates in the future.
Learn your lesson.
Yeah, they'll grow a little bit. They won't be able to get down there.
I think they'll be fine.
Let's go to Gary. We're starting off the week with a lot of sunshine, a little breezy out there, but it was a beautiful start to the week.
Yeah, today was one of the nicer days that we've had so far this spring, and it looks like warmer weather will be here for the end of the week. But as we take a look, first of all, at visible cloud track, we've watched some clouds start to develop, especially over northern and northeastern Wisconsin. Those have been streaming southeastward. It's ahead of a cold front, which is actually just up near Lake Superior, but already a few of these are just starting to turn into showers. You can look on Doppler track and you can see just over the last hour some showers starting to pop up. Eventually there'll probably be some flashes of lightning there. I think the higher probability chances for rain will be north and east of Madison tonight. Areas over southwestern Wisconsin will see a much less chance, but can't rule out a shower or thunderstorm even there as well. Nothing expected to be severe tonight, but tomorrow you can see the severe weather threat moving into parts of North Dakota and western Minnesota. And then on Wednesday, that starts to shift to the southeast as heat and humidity start to build to our south and west. There's a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms, maybe an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm with hail and gusty winds Wednesday night. I think during the day on Wednesday will probably stay mainly dry. If we look at temperatures, though, they're trending back up above normal. 72 for a high tomorrow. That's a little bit below normal. 75 on Wednesday, and then mainly low 80s as we head into the early part of next week. And there are signs beyond that. The temperatures turn even warmer. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook calls for above normal temperatures across much of the country, with the highest probabilities from Wisconsin just to our south and west, about a 60% chance of above normal temperatures. Even at the end of our 10-day forecast period, we're looking for high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Precipitation chances also will be a little bit above normal from the northern plains through the Midwest. A lot of times that heat starts to expand. You start to get clusters of storms that right around the edge of the heat and drop in, especially during the nighttime hours. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Clear skies there, a beautiful afternoon. Temperatures have been in the low 80s over southwestern Wisconsin. A few clouds showing up on the WISC Skycam, and if we look at the Edgewater Skycam, you can see also just a few clouds in the distance. Otherwise, lots of sunshine over the capital. As we check out the almanac, our high temperature so far 79 degrees, low temperature at 50. Low temperature just a tad below normal. High temperature a few degrees above average. And right now we're at 79, so that's our high for the day. Winds out of the west at 10 miles per hour. The air though is still pretty dry. Dew point temperature at 51 degrees. Relative humidity at 38%. Temperatures are in the 80s to our south and to our west, 70s and even 60s and 50s as you get closer to the Great Lakes. So those showers and storms are forming in between, where the winds shift from a west or southwesterly direction to a more northwesterly direction, then eventually around to the northeast. And that will cool us down a bit for tomorrow. You can see these isolated showers developing, but mainly upper level winds are from the southwest, even back into the Pacific Ocean. So we're looking for a prolonged period of above normal temperatures, especially as we head into next week. So our forecast for tonight calls for skies to be partly cloudy. There's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, low temperature at 57. Tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 72 degrees, just a little cooler than today, and that's because winds will shift around to the northeast. You see those westerly winds for tonight. Shower or thunderstorm chance moves through. Winds shift around to the north and eventually to the northeast. That actually starts to bring in a little cooler air off of Lake Michigan, but still, we're looking for high temperatures, lower 70s here, a little warmer out to the west. Tomorrow night, clear skies, light winds, temperatures down to around 50, and then on Wednesday, look for partly sunny skies. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, more likely at night. High temperatures will be in the upper 70s, and as we take a look at the 7 to 10-day forecast, you'll see those temperatures mainly in the 80s, and especially toward the end of next week, those temperatures in the mid-80s with a little higher shower and thunderstorm chances by the middle of next week.
You probably saw Clay Matthews getting hit with a line drive over the weekend. We'll hear what Mike McCarthy thinks about that in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, a new trend is treating illnesses with food. We spoke to a local woman who took to this idea years ago. It's a Fox special report at 9.
News.
The WIA State Boys Golf Tournament begins at University Ridge today, and with the American Family Insurance Championship coming up in a few weeks, the high school players get a taste of what it's to be like a pro as they play into the partially built bleachers around the 18th green. Verona area's boys at the state for the first time. Their number 2 player, Austin Gabby, rolls in this putt on his way to a 78. Both he and Garrett Kagi shoot 78 to lead the Wildcats today. Middleton in contention in the Division I race. Their freshman, Jacob Beckman, has the best round of the day for the Cardinals. He shoots 2 over 74. He's tied for 7th in the individual race. Middleton 7 shots out of 1st in the team competition. The Division I leaders, Marquette University 11 over, Fond du Lac 2nd. Pre-tournament favorite Arrowhead is tied for 3rd with Middleton at plus 18. Janesville, Parker, and Verona area both tied for 11th at the team race. Arrowhead's Pearson Hunt, the top individual, 3 under 69. In Division II, Lakeside Lutheran's Lucas Heckman qualified as an individual, and he's the best individual in Division II so far. Heckman shoots 4 under par 68. He's the leader by 2 in Division II. Now, most everyone figures defending champion Edgewood will get 2 in a row this year, and so far so good for the Crusaders. Their number 4 player, Matthew Phelan, has been playing really well lately. In fact, Edgewood has 4 players in the top 6 right now. Crusaders have an 18-shot lead in the team race in the final holes, going into the final holes in the first round. Right now in Division III, St. Mary Springs a comfortable lead over Abundant Life Madison Country Day. New Glarus tied for 5th, but New Glarus's Matt Hawk is tied for 1st individually at plus 3 right now. Some Packer fans got all excited about a story over the weekend that Aaron Rodgers wants some options throughout his new contract to have some sort of control over what he makes and how he makes it. Now, some thought Rodgers was looking for an out in case things somehow go south for him in Green Bay in years to come. Today, he suggested those reports you hear could be some of that darned fake news.
We're heading into the summer. There's not much to talk about unless somebody gets arrested or injured in the off season or something happens on the 4th of July or, you know, that's usually the stories you get from now until training camp. So, you know, I don't have anything to report at this point, but I'm sure there'll be some unnamed sources close to me that have some sort of scoop along the way.
The Packers won't be prevented from playing in charity softball tournaments in the future, even though Clay Matthews got hit with that line drive and broke his nose Saturday. Matthews expected to have surgery later this week, but eventually be okay. Mike McCarthy's reaction to his star linebacker getting nailed in the nose with a liner?
I think he needs to work on his offhand, mid-side, on the release of the ball. So that's what the tape showed me. But it's a charity game, but, most importantly, we don't have any long-term concerns. It's unfortunate, but it's for a great cause. Just glad he's okay.
We all laughed when he said it, but nobody in the room laughed because they were scared to laugh.
Well, yeah.
I understand.
Got a guard.
Well, got a guard. Keep the guards up.
Gary, final check of the forecast.
Pretty nice weather the next couple of days. Shower thunderstorm chance tonight, but low 70s tomorrow, mid 70s Wednesday. A little more humidity. Temperatures around 80 for the end of the week with some shower and thunderstorm chances. Then even warmer as we head toward the end of next week.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.